The story starts around when 3 poor kids get into the rich high school and mingles with the rich people. Then the female lead is murdered. Mystery, sex, and intrigue. If you're interested with those, stay tuned. Hi, this is MC Lorenzo, and today we're reviewing Elite. When you first get into the series, there's some type of threesome going around with the relationship.
¿Alguna vez has hecho un trío?
We got one being fought by 2 people. We have a throuple. We have 2 couples planning and scheming against another one. And it's just kind of all these conflict goes together with 3 people. For our female lead, we have Marina. Now, Marina is the center of the story because she is murdered in the first episode, and we get to see and find out who murdered her. Now, what I like about this character is it's easy to like her. It's easy to get attached to her because of the fact that she is pretty, she is smart, and most of all, she wants to break the barriers between the poor and the rich.
Dar otra invitación.
¿Para quién?
Para Samuel, el chico de la fiesta.
Ni hablar.
She wants the rich people to understand that the poor are just the same and they have a similar plight. And she wants the poor to understand the rich that she is not really any different from them. She has needs as well. She has wants. She has plights. She has trials. And that thing, that difference, wanting to change that and people to come together, I like that about her. Also, she has this secret, a taboo secret that people don't really like talking about. And I like how brave she comes out, a brave thing to accept, and all of these consequences that arrive with that secret. I like that. But towards the end, when the character makes all these stupid choices, all these dumb mistakes, I find myself disliking the character more and more. Instead of evolving, she has devolved. And at the end of it, when I finally discover who killed her, I was like, okay, that person did that. That's fine. That's okay. We know she's dead. And, you know, I was apathetic towards her plight. Samuel is that typical archetype of a character of a poor boy pining over a rich girl. It kind of reminds me of Dan Humphrey from The Gossip Girl.
Do you like this on me?
Wait a second. Is that why you needed me?
But for Samuel, the difference is he is a pushover. His family, his friends, everyone pushes him over, takes advantage of him. Then when that happens, he gets mad, he whines about it, he gets over it, and then he is pushed again by these characters. He never seems to learn. And it's kind of dissatisfying to watch this person over and over again from the first episode to the last, being pushed over and really doing nothing about it.
Vale, a ver, no pasa nada. No estamos juntos hace 4 semanas, no pasa nada. ¿De quién es?
I think one of the truest characters in the story is Nano. From the get-go, we see him as a criminal, as a bad person. He steals the object of Samuel's affection, which is Marina.
Estás robando. Se ha pasado toda la noche abrazadito al váter.
And he still does all of these bad things, stealing, threatening people, and, you know, doing bad stuff. And it's easy to hate him because he is a criminal. But at the end of it, people decide that he is the bad guy. He is the person who murdered Marina. And at that point, it was so nice to watch how he felt so betrayed about it, that no one would listen to him, because it is easy to hate the criminal when in fact he didn't do it. With Miguel, it was fun watching this character because it was a traditional archetype where this alpha leader who knows what he wants, gets what he wants, and just puts down his foot and everything comes to him. That archetype golden child, it was nice seeing him break out of his shell, show a bit of emotions, and get attached to a person who at first he hated.
¿De verdad crees que debería ir?
Yo creo que es lo que él haría por ti.
Nadia is the girl who Miguel falls in love with. I love that she is different among the people because she is not rich. Also because she has a different background from everyone, particularly because she is a Muslim. At first, I didn't really know how to feel about the character because in other series and other movies, I've already seen this kind of archetype being done before. But what I really like about this character, how she stood out for me, was opening my eyes that she herself has her own prejudice. Just because she is a victim of some of the prejudice that we know, she also has her own, which is, being against her brother being gay.
¿En serio, Nadia? ¿Tú también? ¿Lo estás diciendo en serio?
A ver, hay matrimonios concertados que luego pueden salir bien.
The duality of being a victim of one prejudice and at the same time being a perpetrator of another prejudice is something that really was enjoyable to see. Carla, Polo, and Miguel. You put two spoiled, damaged kids together and give them a toy. This is what this threesome is. From the get-go, at the start, I didn't really like Carla and Polo because of their twisted mind and the twisted things that they keep on doing, all because they have money. They didn't even work hard for the money and they just abuse it. And then we have Miguel, who is a likely lovable person at the start, but then gets in with these two people, and then I ended up kind of hating this person because of the fact that he lets them kind of control him. He lets them kind of be belittled by them.
Antes de conocerte, Polo y yo no estábamos muy bien. Y ahora fíjate, mejor que nunca.
Omar and Andres are by far the best couple in the story. Their loneliness, their LGBT issues, their plight, their personal dreams. Those are enough interesting conflicts in the story that lets me watch and root for them. They are more centered around developing themselves and going through life with their parents and society itself, rather than plotting and getting revenge on someone. It's really a refreshing take to the very toxic relationship, very toxic threesomes in the whole story. I give this a rating of 4 out of 5. We have a lot of different and interesting characters and archetypes. You have the Muslim girl, the golden boy, the damaged female lead, the lovesick boy. All of these different characters are all interesting. Each of them have a good side and a bad side. The first person that you think was good turns out not to be really good, and the ones you think that are bad aren't necessarily bad. So it's a lot of difference and look at their lives and what they feel like is the right thing for them to do.
Querías ser mi novio, ¿no? Ser uno de los nuestros. Que te trate como un igual. Pues entonces tienes que saber que entre nosotros siempre nos protegemos.
What I don't really like about the story are the parents. While I do understand the dynamics of Omar and his family, of how the parents are very strict and they want their child to follow a set of rules, that in itself causes Omar to go about into doing drugs. That dynamics and psychology of things, the causality of things, I really like that and I understand that plot. But with Marina, Carla, and Polo's family, clearly they could see the signs that their children was exhibiting, how different they are, how they are changing, or how troubled they are, and yet they do nothing about it. It just goes to show how weird and incompetent the family is and how the child is exhibiting that. It would have been nice to see them hire some type of counselor or psychiatrist to help their kids get through their way.
Marina, tenemos que hablar.
¿De qué, papá?
Me dice Theo que tienes algo que ver con el robo de los relojes.
Another thing that I didn't really like is the inspector. I don't think she did anything in the story. She didn't really investigate. She didn't really have anything to do with the story moving forward. She just assumed things as they are, and she doesn't really have a good head on her shoulders. It's really pathetic seeing a character being passive and yet appear as someone who's very active in the actual storyline. I think the real use of the inspector was to become a narrator, for some of the characters to tell their plight to, for the characters to show what they're thinking or what they're lying about. She's really not of anything of consequence. If you like murder and mystery in a rich high school setting, this might be a TV series for you. But if you're after clever written characters, smart and diabolical characters, this isn't really for you. It reminds me more of Pretty Little Liars rather than Gone Girl.
Yo nunca quise competir. Ay, Nadia, por favor. Desde el día 1 te reconocí como una igual a mí, aunque no quieras aceptarlo.
If you found this video helpful and enjoyable, do give me a like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe. I leave you with my most memorable scene. I feel like the most memorable scene was when I found out who the culprit was, who killed Marina. I was like,
really? It was you?
it was just like,